who said what's right and what's wrong. But
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, we have to give it up to Dr. Sebi
Yay.
in the house.
For sure.
Oh my God. Now I'm gonna just say this right quick. I'm gonna turn down this music because we got to get serious in here. Serious, ladies and gentlemen, because there are a lot of people out there that's been complaining about what they got,
Mm-hmm.
illnesses. They hurting here,
Mm-hmm.
hurting there.
Hmm.
They got to go take this pill. They got to go do this examination. They got
Mm-hmm.
to go do everything in the world what somebody is telling them to do, but they not listening to the God. And I know y'all saying, "What God? What is he saying?" This guy is like Imhotep. I remember him back in the day in the commission times when my brother Imhotep, because that's what he reminded me of, who had the cures, who was the medicine man, who cured people. Not like a lot of the times we have our community, the community that's out here, the medicine or whatever community that's out here that says, no, if you don't do it our way, then it's wrong. And if you don't do it this way, it's wrong. If you don't do this, it's wrong because why? And we're going to get into that today with Dr. Sebi. Like, why? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think our biggest problem is that we lack information, right? We lack
Mm-hmm.
information that's going to help us not only with our mental health, our physical health, and the money. Okay, let's never forget the cash.
Right.
The Federal Reserve notes, we call them, and it's what it is. But, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce one of the greatest people um, that I think I've met in my life, had the chance to meet in my life, because he has results.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Results. People can talk all they want about whatever they want to talk about, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you here on the Shock Factor, Dr. Sebi. Doc, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
stopping
you.
by the Shock Factor. And I say this is about results. A lot of people talk about cures, but nobody's ever dealing with cures.
Mm-hmm.
They just keeping the problem going on and on and on because they want to make money,
Right.
right? We all know this. Some of us do, but we're going to get it in here today.
Well, I have a quick
Sure.
question. About a month ago, the CDC reported that there is a new strain. It's always new, right? There's a new strain of gonorrhea. I'm so serious. I was like, oh God, gonorrhea. What? And it's uncurable.
Well, according to them, everything is incurable.
So my question is, where do these diseases come from? Because every 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, there's some new disease
Mm.
with no cure. And then you get this medication and oh, they find the cure. And then here comes another disease.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, we need a model. We need a model to compare our situation against the model to know how diseased we are.
Mm.
We need a model. What is the model?
Mm.
Because
Mm.
look, we're saying that we are diseased, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are.
Mm-hmm.
To what extent?
Mm.
How far away from that line that was designed by God or nature are we?
Mm.
Well, we could just begin with that naked woman in the forest.
Okay.
No, she is the model.
Okay.
She is the model.
Right.
But the model has been tainted
Right.
with philosophy. When we look at her, which she's our mother,
Mm-hmm.
we see a naked woman.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't naked.
Mm-hmm.
She was told that.
Right.
Mm.
She was natural. She was so natural
Right.
that she didn't have a supermarket
Mm.
and she didn't have a hospital.
Right.
She didn't have any medicines.
Right.
My brother mentioned Imhotep 1. Well, we didn't need Imhotep.
Right.
Imhotep 1 came out of necessity.
Wow. Wow.
You understand? But in the forest where this woman without no clothes lived,
Right.
We didn't have any Imhoteps
Right.
or no Sebis.
Right.
We didn't have any hospitals. We didn't have any alcohol. She didn't have any drugs, and she didn't have any money.
Right.
Well, how did she live?
Mm.
You see,
Right.
that's the model. Now,
Mm.
for us to get back to this place where we live once
Mhm.
without disease,
Right.
we have to know this other part of it, which is the most interesting.
Mm.
And we didn't focus on it.
Mhm.
You see, we are scholars.
Right.
We didn't look to enhance our health.
Right.
We didn't know how. So we produce scholars. Oh, we have a bunch of scholars, but they don't know what to put in their mouth.
Right.
Oh God, come
So
on.
the other part of this equation is that woman without clothes on didn't know anything about pH, which is hydrogen ion concentration. That was not in her vocabulary. Why? Because pH is a factor that is developed to determine that which is good and that which is bad. That which is bad is acid. That which is good is alkali.
Mm.
Well, that
Mm.
woman without no clothes in the forest didn't have any acid substance in her environment. All she had was alkalinity.
Mm.
Mm.
So, Dr. Sebi, right? You know, we about to get it in.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, we
Man.
got so
Oh
much.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't
not
want
gonna have no more insomnia after tonight.
Hey, Doc. Okay,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
Oh
It's about
God.
to go down.
Ah.
It's going down.
Look.
Do we
if
have
it-
to go on break? Can we
No,
just
we're
like
not.
roll
No,
through?
we are not going on break tonight.
Keep
Ain't
it
no more
moving.
break. 323-247-7443. If you have a question, now if y'all not listening and you don't have a question for Doc on something tonight, then y'all are some. I don't know what to say. So look, Doc, you said how alkaline. So are you saying that
How
the,
do we
on-
get that though? How do we
the
get?
only way disease come into your body is because of there is the lack of alkalinity, or or let me just say this, there, what's the word I'm looking for?
An
Uh,
acid
Acidity.
situation. You're
So,
right.
so Doc, so with some high alkaline water intake all the time, would that help?
No.
Mm.
You want to have natural alkalinity.
How do you get
And
it,
there
Doc?
is a difference.
Okay,
You could get natural alkaline water out of the Fiji. Then they have this mountain water. Then you have the thermal springs. But when you have a machine making alkalinity, no, that is too
what about
Not
the
expensive.
Kan-
natural.
what about the Kangen machine, Doc?
The what?
The Kangen, the Kangen water machine
Look,
that.
we don't want any machine doing anything for you. You're
Mm.
not a product of a machine. You're a product of Mother Nature. You want your
Right.
stuff straight from Mother Nature.
Natural.
I love you, man. I just want to say, okay.
So how do we get alkaline then? If it's not the
Well, it's
Well, you
cake,
get it naturally from the
natural.
spring, natural spring. Then.
natural spring.
Yeah.
That's sufficient. But I drink thermal water in the village that we built in Honduras, the Healing Village. We have a thermal spring there where you drink the water. The pH is 9.6, which very high.
9.6.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, Doc. Okay, so what if you can't get it in
Right.
Honduras? What do you do?
No, but we have it here in the United States. You have those mountain glacier water, and you have the
But the
Fiji.
plastic, they said the plastic, seeps in and brings the.
It depends the quality of the plastic. It's true. I agree with you. Plastic isn't too cool. It should be glass.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we're not back with the woman without clothes on.
Right.
See, the woman without any clothes on, all she did was go with her hand to a river and drink fresh water.
Right.
But now, she doesn't have, we don't have that. All the rivers are contaminated.
Right.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
then she was
I
called a
wouldn't drink no
savage.
river water right now. I'm just saying.
I would love to see you in that, disposition, though. I'm just
I
saying.
But
bet
look.
you would.
She was called a savage.
Right. No, that's not savage.
But that was okay.
Right.
That was okay. Look what she did. When I lived in Los Angeles,
Mhm.
I asked my brothers who were then practicing herbology. I said, "What medicine are you practicing?" brother said, I'm practicing Chinese medicine. I said, but you're not a Chinaman. Why are you studying Chinese
Right.
medicine? You're black. I said, are you saying that when God put black people in Africa, that he omitted a component?
Right.
That we had to go all the way to China to get it?
Right. Well, apparently my grandma did.
Wait. So
Wow.
the other doctor said to me, I said, what are you studying? I'm studying the Ayurvedic. I said, but that's Indian and you're an African.
Right.
What are you doing studying Indian medicine
Right.
when the Ayurvedic medicine offers acid? They offer acid food because they offer milk, they offer ghee. That's very
Yeah,
acid.
Wow.
right.
So that's going to hurt you, Dr. Kite. And he died. And the other one that was studying Chinese medicine, he died too.
Oh my
But
goodness.
there's a third one.
What did they pass up
Wait,
though?
there's a third one.
Okay.
You come from Chicago. Huh? So I said, what are you studying? He said, homeopathy.
Okay.
I said, but that's alien to you, Dr. Sidney. Dr. Sidney died 12 years ago.
Wow.
I decided in my careless thinking mode,
Uh-huh.
for some reason, I was wrong all these years to decide to look towards Africa.
Right.
You see, Africa is our genesis.
Mhm.
Africa must have the answer to our problem. But when I look around, my brothers and sisters were giving people ginseng, golden seed,
Right.
peppermint oil,
Lavender.
and then lavender oil,
Right.
and then they were giving folks carrot juice to drink
Right.
and eating tofu. But all these things are alien to Africa. And they're laboratory product. They aren't natural. Tofu didn't come from a natural substance.
Right.
But we're eating it.
I don't eat.
So it shows that we need help. That's all it does.
Can I get a question?
Of course. Go
This
ahead.
is I'm What's the Count from WDC Radio here on Mondays. I represent the sickle cell community. Alkaline has been a topic in our community about having the diseases can't live in that. What can my community do about the sickle cell disease?
Get it in, Doc.
No, what he said was true about disease cannot live in an alkali environment. Now, about sickle cell, every black man and woman in or out of Africa suffer with some trace of sickle cell anemia. Now, why is that? Well, after all, we are the one with this concentration of carbon. It requires more iron for us to maintain health.
Here we go.
And since we were removed from the jungles of Africa,
Yeah.
everything we ate undermined the iron in our body. It robbed us of iron. In fact, when you eat starch, when you consume starch, starch scientifically is known as carbonic acid. Carbonic acid robs you of your iron cells and minerals. This is why many people are anemic and they take cold when the temperature is warm. Okay, all we need to do is to go back to this woman that was without no clothes
El
in the
Natural.
forest.
Right.
And she didn't have anemia.
Right.
I mean, just 500 years ago when they brought them to America, they looked like trees. They were so erect, right, straight. Nobody had bellies on them.
Right.
Now look what we're looking at. Look at what we're looking at.
Look at those
Right.
bellies, Doc.
Not only that, she gonna tax you because she need a dress that costs about $1,500.
Right.
Then there was no clothes to buy. But the people that saw her, that was not part of her arrangement or her geography, they are naked. How could they be naked when they've been living like this all their lives?
Right.
But there was nobody raping anyone.
Right.
But now you have clothes on.
And now everybody wants to.
I'm gonna take them off.
We need to keep clothes on because I would. Yeah.
Okay, so Doc.
So the model, we have deviated from the model.
Right.
The model showed us that the way to prevent disease is to live an alkali life.
Yeah.
That's all she had.
Right.
How are we going to do it now?
Right. That's
We
the
have to
question.
come together as a family. This is why I suggested in Washington in 1983 that we all contribute $5. And there are about 1 million of us in D.C. That's $5 million. We could have owned the village that I own now in Honduras, the village of Usha. We could have owned it, not Sebi. Sebi not supposed to own healing. Healing is a family affair.
Yeah.
Healing is us because today a brother called and said that a young man is sick with a tumor in his brain, but they don't have any money.
Right.
So I have a healing center. How do you think I feel? Then I said, look, man, take the baby to Honduras.
Wow.
I offer that. But I have to meet expenses too, right?
Right.
But if we all chipped in $1,
Right.
hey man, nobody would have to pay anything
Right.
because the village would be taken care of.
I just had that conversation
It
with
is
people.
that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing, let me say that is important. I have to respect the physician over the alternative healers. Why? Because the medical profession, the, as we know it, the allopathic, the American Medical Association, if you have diabetes, you will go to Japan, they give you insulin. If you go to China, they give you insulin. You go to Russia, they give you insulin. You come to America, they give you insulin. Not so for the alternative doctors. Alternative doctors and healers and herbalists, for that same disease, everybody give you something different. Meaning that the discipline doesn't exist among us, the alternative doctors that there is with the allopathic.
Mm.
Now, where I saw the deficiency was when I won the case. Remember, when I challenged the Supreme Court by advertising that I cure AIDS and sickle cell and blindness and diabetes, they could not accept that.
Of course.
But when I won, instead of the rest of the healers galvanizing around that particular winning, that that victory, that victory,
Right.
together we could have made this an institute where everybody win.
Right.
But no, they left New York and left me by myself,
Wow.
hoping that I would lose because Robert Abrams said that he would put everybody in jail. But when I won, guess what Robert Abrams said? This one won, but there will be no other.
Mm.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
But that didn't do any good for the black race because I wanted us to win, not me, Sebi. I'm a member of the black race. If I cure AIDS, the black race cure AIDS.
Right.
If a Japanese had cure AIDS, we would say the Japanese people cure AIDS. If a Russian had cure AIDS, you would say the Russian people cure AIDS. But Sebi cure AIDS, instead of saying black folks cure AIDS, we say he cure AIDS. Hey, hold it, bro. Hold it, bro. You know why you separated me from the group for?
I'm human.
That is where they has reduced us to. We are not using our senses. We are not producing people that perform in the area of pragmatism.
Mm.
No, we produce scholars. They know all sorts of matters, but what goes in their mouth.
Wow.
And that's so huge because we find every day you see a lot of diseases, more diseases than ever are showing up, whether it's chemtrails, these particulates that they're spraying in the sky, and whether these hormones that they're injecting in our foods and stuff like that. And nobody's saying anything, and it seems like as if they just killing us slowly.
Returning to the brother's question, and then I'm going to address that. The brother question on sickle cell anemia is serious. It's very serious. Deficiency of iron causes up to 20 different diseases to manifest. The deficiency of iron. In sickle cell anemia, what is occurring? What occurs is that the acid situation in the blood has broken the cell into a sickle, allowing oxygen and iron to escape.
Yep.
But what is resting in the cell is a bed of mucus. Removing the mucus from the blood, the cells reunite.
Mm.
The cycle reunite. Then you feed the patient nascent iron. Why iron? Because it is the mineral in question, the blood. If it was the bones, then it would not be iron. It would be what? Calcium.
Calcium.
Oh,
Right.
If it was the brain, it's copper and carbon.
It's the blood.
If it's the spleen, it is phosphorus. And so it goes. All the cells of the body is distributed through different cell groups made up of different minerals. But we have yet to understand that. You see what happened? We didn't have to know these things in the forest because we were attached and we were
one
connected.
with it.
Right.
there.
Exactly.
We
Right
were
there.
one with it.
It didn't matter, right?
We didn't have to read in the books.
We was
breathed
drawn
it, you
to
ate it.
right. We
It
was
was right there.
That was just nature.
Just like the gorilla.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go to ask a nutritionist, what is it that I'm supposed to eat, man? Here come the nutritionist and tell the gorilla, well, you know, you need so many grams of protein and you need your vitamin A and B, like they tell us.
Right.
You need vitamin A and B and protein.
Right.
Well, Dr. Steinberg, what is protein? I don't know. You don't know? Well, why do you expound on it? This is your premise, protein. Everybody thinks about protein.
Right.
Like
Yes.
all black people talk about melanin. That's a joke.
Break it down, Doc.
That's a joke.
Break it down, Doc.
Look, let me tell you something about melanin. When I first heard the word melanin, I started to laugh because I knew it was something strange out of the sky. What happened?
Okay.
The word melanin came out of Germany.
Okay.
It is said that melanin is what makes us black. But science says that's not so. It's carbon what makes you black. The higher the concentration of carbon in your body, the higher the quality of life. But if melanin exists, where do you find melanin in nature?
Uh-oh.
You find carbon in nature, but you do not find any melanin. So I asked some of the people that promotes it in Washington. I asked the lady, I said, Doctor, tell me, where do you find melanin in the body, or where is it produced? Because it isn't found in nature. Well, it is produced in the neurons of the nerve. I said, just a minute. You know, I didn't go to school, you know, but my understanding.
What
is
was your
not-
education again, Doc?
None, zero. So I asked, I said, the nervous system isn't a system that was designed to produce anything. It is a conduit that conveys electricity from the brain to various parts of your body. Where does it produce melanin? Melanin never existed, like protein never existed. So you see, we need a lot of cleaning up to do. But when I come on the set talking like this, I get in trouble. Because the majority of us is comfortable where we are, drinking our carrot juice, eating our beans, you know, and enjoying our...
So
our-
what should we be eating?
What should we be eating?
Uh-huh.
You see, we have to go back to that woman that was in the forest without no clothes on.
Natural.
This is the question that I asked the
Oh,
Supreme Court. I asked the Supreme Court, Your Honor, gorillas do not eat polar bear food. She said, no. I said, no. Because it's of different genetical predisposition. So, Your Honor, when you removed the black man from Africa, did you bring his food with him? She said, no. I said, no. Now, I asked those scholars that we have in the community, our leaders, some give us pork, some give us lamb. Hey, fellas, what's going on here, man? You're violating mama. You're making me sick. What is the food that we ate in the forest? Well, why do you ask the question, brother? I said, "But don't get belligerent, man. We have to know these things because we are designed to eat a certain food. No, our food was alkali. And what are those foods today? Well, today there is such thing as spelt. There is amaranth bread. There's also quinoa, kamut. And you could eat mushrooms, a lot of them, so various mushrooms on the market today. There's also the hemp milk. which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's sea moss.
Mm.
Well, my diet surround. Just have a little baby. As you know, my baby was born 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave her to me when I
You
was
said
not,
your baby was born 2 years ago.
yeah,
How old are you? Might I
80,
ask?
80.
Wow.
So
Dr. Sebi,
Yeah.
hold on, Doc.
Wow.
Take this. Take this, Doc.
So, do we need a cure for fertility? I couldn't even get it out.
Well,
I said
Doc.
infidelity.
Wow.
Might be some of that on it too, but fertility is the issue here.
Yeah, fertility.
Doc,
Dr. Sebi, I missed a little bit of this. I had to let my friend in the door there. Did you mention your age?
yeah,
yes,
just now. Just
Yeah.
now.
Now, has anyone talked about his energy, his
Oh my
passion?
God.
I'm just sitting here like, wait, he just had a baby 2 years ago.
That too. But you know the old joke about
Bottle him up.
about older folks. They talk about old cats how they turn and they got to look this one like that. They got to move the whole upper body.
I know he's very limber.
I mean, every time I look up, Doc looking like like he
Yeah.
watching.
Wait, when he was like,
like a
when he was
one-eyed
talking
dog in a
about
sausage shop.
when he was
He
talking
like-
about the brother,
Yeah.
he pulled his pants up.
Oh,
brother,
Doc,
like
what? Yes, indeed. And it's just amazing, I mean, we call it amazing, Dr. Sebi, because we're so ignorant. I'll speak for myself. I call it amazing because I'm so ignorant.
all of us are.
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah. I remember my mom at 82, and, that's the year she passed away. And everything just collapsed in. Started with the lungs and then started with a broken hip, actually. And I didn't realize it. I was so naive. And I knew she had more life in her because maybe 30 days prior to her taking this downward spiral, she was down Atlantic City pumping the one-armed bandit 20 days out of 30.
Right.
But once she got deeply involved with the pharmaceutical remedies that the doctors plied on her, like Coumadin, which thins the blood, and all of these other toxic drugs that have horrific side effects, that was her downward spiral.
Yeah.
And to see a brother of his wisdom and years so vibrant, so full of life.
He just had a baby 2 years ago.
Mo
I'm
ain't
gonna
getting
keep
over
saying
that.
I'm just saying.
Mo ain't getting over that. Like, yo. So that's just amazing. But you're a walking testimony to your truth.
But you, Black America,
Yes, sir.
are the one responsible for this. But you guys can't see it.
What are
You
we
know-
missing, Dr. Sebi?
What you says?
What are we missing? What is it we're
Just
missing?
tell him
here?
you're stupid and keep it moving.
Well, with
Go
that,
home.
but those are generic terms. I need something
it's
more
not,
specific
no,
to speak
stupid
to.
is stupid. And,
Stupid is as stupid does. Speak to that, Dr.
Just
Sebi,
say it's
please.
just stupid and call it that.
No. You see,
Come into that mic some more, please. Don't forget.
Come on, Doc.
I traveled to about 20 countries in Africa. I traveled all through South America. I've not been to 2 countries in South America. I traveled the Caribbean, and I live with you. I live with you now for 50 years. And I was traveling, looking at this, making a comparison with Black America and the rest of the Black people in the world. Do you know that I found that the only African is here in America?
I actually call myself an American African.
Can you break that one more down? One
The
more
only
again?
African that I've ever met in my life is right here in America. Because
Wow.
the American black man is looking towards Africa for salvation, and the African is looking to France and England. You understand? And everything I learned it from you. Remember, I am the uneducated. I'm the boy that didn't go to school. So I had to hobnob with you, sisters and brothers, and listening to your vocabulary. and because I spoke Spanish, and buying these books and Rosetta Saros and the dictionary to learn language. I work at Martin Luther King as an engineer. Oh my God, how did I do that? When I filled my resume out at the county, I put, I didn't go to school. The man want to know how did I get this license. I got a license as a steam engineer. I worked at King Hospital for about 10 years. And it was at King Hospital that I began to do research with herbs. And my first patient was a blind man. And the second one was his daughter that had epilepsy. But it was easy for me to see it. It was about cleansing the body and giving the patient a chelation. Okay, I had to clean the human body because everything that we've been eating jammed us up. It's kind of a clogged system. Capillaries, veins, and everything else is clogged.
Mm-hmm.
So declogging it, like I was doing as an engineer, you have to see results. And I remember that I gave people compound that was designed to de-obstruct, and then they came back telling me these weird stories about how they're sleeping and how his sex came back and how this and that and the other.
Hey, Doc, I need my sex to come back, Doc.
Just by cleaning.
You just had
Doc-
a baby 2 years ago.
Can-
'Cause I listened to him. That's all
Can
I'm
we
saying.
can we talk about the mucus factor? Because you were here last night on Rona Bennett Perspectives Corner, and enlightened me incredibly through that revelation about mucus, and I can really dig it. You know, we're raised on milk. All the babies are fed milk,
Where they're felt,
and throughout our lives.
they're given something, whether it's milk, where we think is milk.
Well, okay, a reasonable facsimile thereof, let's
But
call it. But
what-
tell us about the mucus aspect of it, from the blood level all throughout the body, and how it impacts us. What is that mucus? We're not just talking about snot here, right?
The mucus, which is the same snot.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Harvard University, May 18, 1983. Dr. Landerdorf, Pierre Landerdorf, is gonna give a talk at Harvard University about sickle cell anemia. And I had to go to the hospital. I was at the hospital that day to give the ambassador's wife a compound because she was sick. On the way out, I saw the notice. So my wife said, "You have to go to the meeting." I said, "They're not going to let me in." She said, "Well, you're going to have to muscle your way in because you cured sickle cell." So I went. So while I went to the meeting to see what the meeting was about, it was a Frenchman talking about his patient in Abidjan, which is Ivory Coast. Dr. Pierre Landerdorf said, "And in my experience with my sickle cell SS group, something is noticeable, that he has the presence of lactocomia under certain stress condition." And everybody give this man a standing ovation. And I want to know why. I know I'm dumb, but am I this dumb to let this man get away with this? I stood up. I said, "Dr. Landerdorf, everybody agreed with you but me. And it could maybe due to my ignorance. And I may be ignorant, but you're going to help me."
Right.
Right.
I said, "Sir, you said that your sickle cell patient shows signs of lactocomia." He said, "Yes." "Do you disagree?" I said, "No. But isn't lactocomia a derivative of lactic acid?" He said, "Yes." "And lactic acid is directly related to milk?" He said, "Yes. But why are you giving a black man milk to drink? When milk is against the black man cellular predisposition." And you could go to Mr. Pablo Ariola in his book, How to Get Well, on page 190. He states that if your ancestors are European, your body is programmed to digest milk. But if your body is African or Indian, your body is not programmed to digest milk. So, Dr. Landerdorf, why are you allowing your patient to drink milk? You see? But these are the things that we are faced with because I have no support. Nobody gonna support Dr. Sebi. So
We're here to support you,
Oh,
Dr.
we
Sebi.
gonna change
And
that.
that's why
well,
you're here
let's
tonight.
let's talk
You know-
about this, Doc. Go ahead, go, because this is what we're seeing. Like somebody with your information and understanding of how, like everybody's disposition, in different cultures is different,
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Their physiology,
It's different.
and how they do what they is different.
yes, it's different.
So you have to treat it differently.
That's
You
true.
know, and they
It's
whether
inherited.
it's psychologically or mentally or both that you're using whatever concoction, you have to use what works for y'all. Your disposition for you. You know what I'm saying? You can't just use somebody and say this is a blank
There's
whatever
no panacea in
and
the
use
world.
it for every
Right.
race of people on this
No.
planet. It's impossible.
It's impossible because we are genetically different.
Exactly.
In fact, the doctors tell you every day when they take this blood sample from someone, "Oh, this is Oriental, this is black, this is white." Well, how do you? Well, if there's a difference, why is it that Dr. Gupta Sanjay Gupta, when he talk on CNN, he
Yeah,
talk
what-
across the board.
what's up with
like
that?
Everybody's supposed to take the same thing. Hold it there now.
All it there now. All that.
Are we going to treat this difference? Because if there is a difference, how much of a difference are we?
Right. Let's
But
get
we
to
have not even treated that. We are scholars. We're not interested in our biological makeup different from other people. We didn't contribute any time to investigate those things. We were so busy with revolution
right.
or with spiritualism
Right.
or
Right.
with a whole bunch of philosophy, but we were never interested in food and genetical
The
predisposition.
human being connection.
Hey, so Doc, so we know you is known as curing HIV,
AIDS,
AIDS.
leukemia, sickle cell, blindness, diabetes, paralysis.
Da 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 da. And
This new strain of gonorrhea.
So this brother is talking about sickle cell.
I want
Preventing.
I want y'all to
Preventing
When
sickle cell.
he inspired me last night because when he came talking about sickle cell, I knew what he was up against.
yeah.
I was hoping someone like him surface.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here.
Doc, come
Because
on, get it
now-
in. Get it
because
in,
sickle
Doc.
cell is a disease which besets us because of a deprivation of iron.
Yeah.
Every black person in and out of Africa is anemic.
Yeah.
Out of
And
your
iron,
environment.
and iron is the primary mineral that supports the immune system.
Yeah.
No, they're giving you an injection. We didn't need any injection in the jungles of Africa. Why do we need it now? If we need it now, why?
Out of
So
that
the truth has
environment.
not been told. So with our research at the Usha Research Institute, we found that all that has been said and practiced, no, not so. We have to get down to genetics to understand
Have we been lied to, Doc?
no stuff. I wish that was only the case. Lied to would be good. We've been misused because they're giving us all kind of chemicals that doesn't really help.
Go on, yeah, hold on, Doc. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Doc. Wait a minute.
All it there now.
You said that we've been misused, not lied to, because if we would have been lied to, we'd at least been halfway
That's
there.
you can
right.
find
That's
out.
right.
Right.
But we've been manipulated for a particular reason to keep us out of some understanding of our health. Right? Now, the only thing that I can think of is it has to do with money.
No, insanity. Not money. Because, see,
Break
we
it
should
down,
not
Doc.
think of any money on the pharmaceutical laboratories. We are the one disease. We are the one that should take care of the matter. We should not have to think about what the American Medical Association is going to do. We already prevailed over them.
As a people.
But listen to this. One morning they was interviewing me at KGLH. And I showed them proof that I cure AIDS with documents. Diagnostic sheets. So if we, the black race, is looking to contribute something to the world, why do you turn your back on your brother that is curing AIDS and the rest of the diseases? Well, you know what Dr. King said? From UCLA, a black man telling his black brother, you are lying. I said, wow. This is really treacherous. I'm in trouble. Then Michael Jackson, he made a big mistake. He dragged me to Washington. And who was in Washington? 17 African ambassadors. Sheila Jackson Lee from Texas.
What's up with that, Doc?
John Conyers from Michigan. Leonard Mohammed from the Nation of Islam. Jesse Jackson Jr. from the House of
Oh
Appropriation.
Lord.
From Chicago.
She said,
All
"Oh,
these people were there. And I showed them document that I cure AIDS.
What they say, Doc? Come on,
They
Doc.
looked
let
at
'em say
me
it.
like I was stupid. Boy, you are dumb. So now I'm wondering, because my brother was a Christian. My brother was a true Christian. I said, hey, bro, help me. I want to understand you, Christian. I really do. Because in the Bible it says in the book of Genesis 1-9, the herbs are for the healing of the nations. what happened that you guys overlooked this book?
Right.
I want to know why. Is it love? Is it love that we need to have for ourselves?
Hey Doc, why do you think
Wow.
they told you or looked at you like you lied? Like, why did you gave them proof that this works, right? Your methodology works. Your process work. Your experiment and your control experiments work. Why do you think they looked at you like you was a damn fool?
They were supposed to see me in that manner. They had a right to. Look at what they are eating. Don't overlook that. See, I am dumb. I am dumb to believe that they would change their position. No, I am talking about a moral issue, and they're talking about a financial position. There is a difference. But I'm indebted to this
Yeah.
because it is godly. It is godly. You understand?
Yes,
This
sir.
is no joke. You know, when my brother used to condemn me for smoking marijuana, and he was smoking cigarette, and he was representing God, yet when he got sick, he went to see a doctor for a needle. I went to see an herbalist. You see? But we can't see these things.
Give it up, you gotta give it up to you, Doc. I love you, man. Go ahead.
Man.
My brother died 22 years ago. So I wonder, God should have saved him, not me. I'm the one that smokes marijuana.
Right.
I should not be spared. But hey, God had a different plan for me. You understand?
Right.
And I'm glad that I'm obedient enough. But in this particular journey, there is something that I needed to know that I learned just yesterday. There's a woman in this city named Mrs. Watkins.
Mm-hmm.
It was myself, her two sons, and some other folks was talking in her living room, and we were saying a bunch of stuff about politics and revolution. She opened the door and said, "You know what's wrong with you guys? Love is not in the equation." We laughed at the woman. We thought the woman was crazy.
But that's the balance, and that's the
The mama came out and tell us how crazy we were because love was not in the equation.
Yeah.
You know how long it took me to assimilate that? 35 years.
But okay, Doc, let me ask you a question. Because that's deep. Because I look at the downfall of the so-called African race because of the lack of, how can I say, the lack of
Information.
not only information, but that thing that ego, right? That at one time there was balance, right? Balance meaning that
We were one.
right, if that woman every time you've seen some black figure or whatever figure, you've seen a woman right there next to him, so you saw balance, right? And that balance represented nature, right? And nature represents the life force that gives us the ability to see beyond just this, not only this earth, but we're cosmonauts and we able to see the universe, right? Just with balance.
The only thing that separates us is language. Language.
But that's artificial.
You and me. Other than that, we're human beings.
We're
And
first
there's no connection.
there's no disconnection.
But language did we have in the forest? We had no
Jive.
dictionary.
We had jive
That's
talk.
We didn't have in the dictionary. So you know something? Let us try to stop talking, and you see how much you could communicate. I tried with many times with many people.
Now look, Doc, you didn't just hit it in the nail.
I do it all the
Like
time.
if we were able to talk as scientists, like when you talk as a scientist, there's a controlled experiment, and there's what it's facts. There's no thinking like or not even a scientist, but an engineer. Right, when you got to build a bridge, there's no speculation of building a fucking bridge. You got the design specs of how to build a bridge from point A to B,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
shut
That's
up.
it.
Ain't no speculation on.
No.
Well,
You
I
better
think
know.
we should. No, ain't no speculation. It's build a bridge.
You better know.
Yeah,
Right.
period. And a lot of the times we operate on this thing of every day of somebody thinking that they know what they know based on what they think they
They
know.
know.
And
Yeah.
you don't know shit.
You know, last night the brother took me to a place named Vibrations. Beautiful brothers and sisters at Vibration. You ever been to
No, I've never
Vibrations?
been there.
And it's a beautiful
Oh
bird.
my God, Doc, what are you doing at Vibrations, man? Come
I
on.
mean, what kind of place is this?
Yeah.
That's what
It's a beautiful place, like Doc said.
Well, can we
Yeah.
let us tell
You just
them?
had a
But
baby
what-
2 years ago.
Doctor, tell us about vibration. Where is it?
Yeah.
What happened in Vibration? I remember seeing this setting exactly 50 years
Oh.
ago. And I'm looking at it last night. And I already know how limited that is.
Ooh.
Because I lived there with the same group of people. It doesn't go anywhere, but with a small group. And we're living now in a time in which there have been a shift in the paradigm, as they said, there's been a paradigm shift.
Right.
Okay, where we have to improve everything about us in expression, in achievement. Like, one thing is certain, our health has been destroyed. Okay, fine. Now, shouldn't it be sensible for us to contribute over time to revitalize that body that has been compromised to disease? We're not doing that. We're singing poetries and stuff.
We still marching for freedom, Doc.
Well, look, that's right. That's right. Because the poet last night, the poetry, it was like, I can't get further than here, you know.
Like,
And
what are you
no.
doing? You look, if you don't get it in your mind that if we don't take control of our own situation and stop waiting for somebody else to be responsible for us.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have to be
That's right.
responsible.
Imagine though, we have the cure for AIDS and the rest of the diseases.
Doc!
They reject it.
Come on,
Man,
Doc.
that's frightening. That is.
Well, we're gonna talk about sickle cell, so we
sickle
good.
cell,
We good.
sickle cell. We gonna treat sickle cell anemia.
But why is it that the black race or any race look at you when you talking about I got the cure for sickle cell or AIDS? They looking at you like you crazy, and they saying, "Well, no, Massa said
Well, look,
you don't got the cure."
The first time I was slapped in the face like that was in South Africa. In South Africa, under the leadership of Mandela. I said, "What? I got to
tell him,
yes,
Doc.
you get out of here."
Get out!
So I wonder why.
Out of here! Get out!
So I was talking to the president of Guinea, and he told me, "Well, do you understand? You wasn't supposed to do that." I said, "But they say Mandela's the black man, and he's supposed to be for the benefit of the people."
Get
He
out
said,
of
"Well,
here! Get out
Oh
of
my
South
God.
Africa!
He said,
Get
"Wait,
out!"
wait, just a minute. Were you told that he had to sign an agreement before he left the jail that he was not supposed to ever see Winnie again?"
Oh
I
my
said,
God!
"What did you say?"
Say that again, Doc.
Look, I'm gonna repeat it. Our president told me this, that Nelson Mandela had to sign an agreement that he could not see Winnie. But I could see why. Because she was the brain. And they knew it.
Wow.
They knew it.
Wow.
That is another part of my argument. Is that every time you see an animal following the parent, they always follow mama.
I just love you.
Only
Sebi.
mama. But you and I got tricked. We got mama and we have daddy. And what daddy says and what mama says, conflicts. But if we just throw daddy aside and only listen to mama, it would be cool. Because that's
right.
all I had.
Wow.
All I had was mama. See, daddy is not supposed to open his mouth. I didn't tell my children anything. I don't even beat them nor tell them anything. I don't care what they indulge in. Because why? I already know. Mama is the one with the message of life, not a daddy.
She's the lieutenant.
Dr. Sebi, I have
that's
to
right.
co-sign that because my father, I showed him a picture of myself and my father from the late 60s, and I was a young lad, and I was standing next to my dad, and he was a stoic, standoffish,
Yeah.
hard-working, bring the
Man.
money home,
Man.
had a good childhood daddy.
Yeah.
But my mom ran the house.
That's right.
Bottom line, I followed mama. She applied all the whoopings and all the discipline, and I had very little communication with my dad. I mean, he was in the house and he was a very functional man. However, he carried that over from his childhood, and that his father didn't have that kind of relationship with him.
Right.
I told a friend of mine, I've never had my father throw any kind of ball at me, but I knew he loved me.
Have you had anybody read you a book? Like,
No.
you know, tuck you in?
But I have a question. No. Hell no. They don't do that in Philly, homie. I don't know nobody do that in Philly. Not in my
Got
era.
time. Everybody tight. Nobody has time to be
They didn't
reading
read you a book.
Yeah.
You gotta go to bed.
Here's how they did it. Here was the book, and here was the tucking. Take your ass to bed. That was the book and the tucking. That's a story in
If
the
you
tucking.
get your ass up,
Dr.
there's going to
Sebi,
be some problems.
I have a question for you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
God forbid, you know, understand where I'm coming from with this. God forbid. How does your knowledge perpetuate itself? Who is going to carry your healing to the next generations? Now, I know you're going to live
forever.
as long as
I mean,
you
he just
want
had a
to
baby
live.
2 years ago.
I know that. Okay, all right.
Sorry.
2-year-old. So did I. But what am I, chopped liver? I just had a baby 2
He's
years
80.
ago.
That dude is 80 years old. and
He's
has had a
80
baby.
years old. Give him a hand clap. He had a baby 2 years ago.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
So, Dr. Sebi,
Hold on. We got to give Dr. Sebi.
maybe that answers the question.
We got to give Dr. Sebi a hand clap for having a baby.
Do we have therein the answer, Dr. Sebi?
Who's going to
If
carry
we
on your
lose
legacy?
you, brother,
I used to wonder the same thing. I thought it was going to be my oldest son, and I thought it was going to be my grandson. It turned out to be a girl.
there you go.
There it is.
Girl. And she's bad.
There it is.
How old is she now?
The girl, she's 28.
Can we bring her in?
Her name is Zave, and she's terrible. In fact, she took Daddy's compound and improved them and laughed at me. I said, now isn't this something?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
But she's good. She made a product known as Banju. And the kids that take Banju
Oh, God.
says, Mommy, I want my brain medicine. What you call it, the brain medicine? Just for your nerve. Yeah, but ever since I've been drinking it, my grade's been going up. Another little boy named Abu Bakr. If you go online, drsebi.com, you're going to see Abu Bakr talking about me. Abu Bakr took the same compound in Washington. The first one was in New York. The second one is in Washington. He told his mommy, I want my thinking medicine. Mama said, what thinking medicine? That medicine that Dr. Sebi sent for my sister, I've been drinking it, and my grade's been going up. So I asked Zave, what did you put in this compound that everybody said that the brain is developing so fast? And she began to name the composition. She's good. She's very good.
Is she here in L.A.?
Oh, yes. People that have spoke to her doesn't want to speak to me after that.
So you worried about bringing her by the station? For us to
Oh,
talk to
no,
her?
she could talk.
I'm only kidding.
She could come. No, you could invite her.
No, we want to have you both back.
She'd be delighted. No, I want to hear her without my presence.
Can we bring her in, Doc? Can
Oh,
we-
yes.
So, Doc, we're going to go ahead and wrap this whole thing up. And, I want to thank you once again, man. Like, oh, my God.
It's great.
I've heard about you for so long, and it's such a blessing to be in your presence. And I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers. I know you're not that kind of cat. You know, I know you don't get down like that.
Yeah, if you're going to blow smoke at him, not in that direction, okay?
Yeah.
I will give you a gun. You know what I'm saying? I will give you a gun. With, you know, so, yeah. So, look, Dr. Sebi, I want to thank you from the bottom of in the top of my, in the middle, and all around my heart and my whole, you know,
Thing. Whatever. The
System.
pumping thing in my chest.
all my, you know, my, and
then
want
it
to
goes
thank
thump,
you,
thump.
you know, for stopping by and giving us. We can sit here and talk. I know we can sit here and talk for another 5 hours
Oh yeah.
on this topic because there's so much. But I want you to know that you have a home here,
Thank
right?
you.
For you
Thank
to
you.
come in
We
here,
need to do a Dr. Sebi marathon.
yeah,
Right.
because
health
we
and
can't.
wellness
Let me
all
tell
day
you,
Dr. Sebi marathon.
exactly. We cannot allow you to leave, you know, this planet without, you know, the Most High is giving us to you, or you us, you know, you to us.
We can't even
That
do
way.
that. He
And
needs
we-
some of that compound. That
Yeah.
I need some, and
he
we,
needs that compound.
yeah, whatever.
Brain.
Hold on, look,
But I want to say this.
hold on, Doc. Let me get you in there. Go ahead. I had to cut
Shut
that.
off.
I had to
Remember
cut
he was
that
talking
one.
about sign language?
I had to cut them off, Doc, because they was,
Please,
I'm,
Doctor.
I'm equally as grateful. Remember, I
course.
won a case 25 years ago. How old are you?
I'm only 10.
Okay.
He was 10 at the
You
time.
see? You were 10 at the time. You're 35 now.
Yeah.
Okay, you see? Nobody in my age group listened. But now, all of you, your age group, are listening. So I lived long enough to see this particular message
Fascinating.
manifest through you,
Oh,
your
yeah.
age group.
Nice.
My daughter and her group, oh my God, I just sit back there and watch them just take the ball and run.
Yeah.
And look at you,
Oh,
brother, with sickle cell.
I gotta talk to you. I'm
You
the preventer.
understand?
I'm preventing that
Well,
disease.
we're going to work. For those that has it, we're going to cure them. And those that doesn't, we're going to prevent it.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
Doctor.
love that. Round of
Amen.
applause
We
for
gonna
that.
work.
Thank you.
Find
We're
them
gonna
claps,
work.
boy. Act like you're in the whole house and find them claps. Gee whiz,
Man,
you
these
done erased some
motherfuckers-
names. And
Right.
I mean, these claps don't work like they used to be.
What the hell is that?
I like y'all claps.
Can you kill that though? Thank you very
Right.
much. Lord have mercy.
Okay, there
I
you go.
ain't ever drinking wine with you no more before you get on the board.
Leave it alone.
You're right about that fermentation. It's fermenting as
Hey, all I want to say,
medulla.
I like the real claps. I don't like the digital
That's
claps.
bullshit. You can't find
I
them.
know, right? You can't find the class.
Okay, we're getting ready to get out of here. We want to thank everybody for tuning in
Not yet, Doc. Hold those
to
headphones
the
on
Shock
for a moment,
Factor
please.
here on LA Talk Live. I'm your host, Shaquem
I'm
Williams.
Momo.
And
And Shock, thank you for allowing me on your show tonight. If we could get a plug in for my good friend here, Ferran
Oh yeah,
Dozier.
definitely. The WDC Radio Mondays starting March 4th, 11 a.m. It's all about sickle cell trait prevention, lupus, bullying. We're gonna cover all aspects
I'm
of
going
sickle
to talk
cell.
to you about lupus too, because one of my goddaughter, she has lupus and stuff like that. And she goes through a lot of stuff. And Doc,
We cure lupus.
oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
there
we
you go.
got work.
hey Doc, can I just be a part of the crew?
You could send her and we're going to cure her for free.
Oh,
That's right.
We got work.
Hey, let me tell you, this girl, she is a superstar.
This is guaranteed.
I have
I love you, man.
one last
Just wanted to
request.
let you
How
know
does
that.
anyone?
Shock,
I
yeah.
How
love you
do
too, my
we
brother.
I
get
know you
information?
from
Well,
some
hold on,
other
hold
world.
He has a website,
Okay.
drsebi.com, right?
Yes.
SEBI. DR or DLC?
DR lowercase.
Right. Sebi, SEBI.com. I was at his site last night.
Yeah,
I have a
me-
question, Doc. I got a problem with tobacco.
Tobacco.
Yes, sir.
Well, to detox, right?
Yes.
You're talking about to
Well, I
detox.
need to stop.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, to detox.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have a compound.
Excellent.
We have a compound
I love
that we have used consistently over the last 20 years, and it worked. Even with people that didn't know they were taking compound to remove them from smoking,
Mm-hmm.
they say, Dr. Sebi, since I've been taking your stuff, I stopped smoking.
Wow.
Now, how can they get the
Lisa.
compound if they're not if they can't afford to travel to Honduras?
They don't have to go to Honduras.
No,
We
yeah,
have
sure.
a shop here at 2807.
Give the
Or
address again,
2708.
please. Give the other address again, please.
The phone number is 310-838-2490.
And the address one more time. Dr. Sebi.
2807 La Cienega Boulevard.
Cross Street, please.
Cross Street is between Washington and Venice.
There we go.
And the hours.
The hours is from
I think it's 9 to 5 Monday
to 5
through Friday is what I
to
saw.
Saturday.
Saturdays,
Saturdays.
through Saturday, and that's no, you close Sunday.
No,
right?
we close Sunday.
There you go.
Hey Doc, can we be the official Dr. Sabian word out? I mean, no,
Well,
official
I would
Dr.
love that.
Sebi
I would
healing
love
Yeah,
that.
I would love to
station.
tell my clients about it.
I would love to cooperate with
can
you.
we
on-
get together on a whole nother level?
Okay, we
please?
will get together on a
We
whole
will.
other level.
Right.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
sir.
All right.
Let me give you a clap for that, Dr. Sabi.
Because Dr. Sebi has always said, it's not a question of whether you can or can't. It's a question of whether you will or won't. Right?
Thank you.
Yes,
You're
sir.
I want to thank
So,
you
of course-
personally because I know you from a previous life. I already know it. I met you on the temple, of Seti, and we was chilling with a,
With a doobie.
I was on the temple of Seti, and I
That's
know
pretty
you said we are like, look, I'm right here with you, like for real. And I want to thank, oh my God, I want to thank you. I want to thank Ishi, from Arrested Development.
yes. Oh, yes.
From spreading the love and all look, we have to teach and help each other. Bottom line,
That's a must.
if we don't do that, then we're done. You know, if we don't come together, it ain't about color, this, that. If we don't just come together, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some issues. I want to thank Mo, right? I want to thank you for coming in. Really, Chef Momo, and I hope you learned something
I'm
for
going to
Doc.
the store tomorrow.
Because Doc, oh my God, you already know, you
Yeah.
felt it,
Mhm.
and go ahead
Oh
and
yeah.
tell us, about, sickle cell, your show on, is it Tuesday?
On Monday, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time.
And once again, what's the name of the show?
WDC Radio
WDC
starts
Radio.
March 4th.
March 4th, and it's
Nice.
getting ready to go on.
Making sickle cell a lifestyle
And
conversation.
we're going to get with Dr. Sebi. It's
Mhm.
not a lifestyle conversation. We're going to end it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Amen.
what Dr. Sebi does. He ends that shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Nice.
about fucking around with all this other whatever. Doc.
Oh yeah, we got work.
done.
Yeah, he had a baby 2 years ago.
We got
And
work.
he had a baby 2 years ago. I want to give it up to the baby. I want
Taiwa. Her name is Taiwa.
Oh my! And she
Aw.
is so adorable. Doc
I
showed us
love
a
it.
picture
Oh.
of it. I want to thank here LA Talk Live once again for giving us an additional hour. Van's like, I'm ready to go. I got some business to do. I want to thank my homeboy and producer,
Hey, Dave.
Super Dave. He's
So
back.
good to see Dave.
He's back in the building, and it's Mo's birthday. His dog. He has a dog. His name is Moses. And he's Jewish, and
Oh.
and he wants to. It's his birthday, and he's got the dude. He's 14, 2 years old, but 14, and he's getting ready to get the thing slammed off. And Dr. Sebi, I love you, man.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, I love
Oh,
you.
man.
Don't even look. I love you. We gotta get some more claps in. Everybody
Right.
clap for Dr. Sebi.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
Look, we're gonna get ready to go ahead and get on out of here. We want to thank everybody. Anybody got any shout outs? I want to give shout outs to everybody around the world in 150 countries and the United States as well. We have over almost 300,000
That's great.
listeners here in the United States and abroad.
Nice.
We want to give it up